Hello everyone and welcome to another royal reading. I'm going to be looking today at the parallels, the uncanny parallels between Wallis Simpson and Meghan Markle. Yet another book has come out on the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. It's called Traitor King by Andrew Lowney, I think his name is. And in the Daily Mail, the book has been serialized, I think, in the Daily Mail. I saw the headlines and it says that there are similarities between the two couples: the endless feuding, ghosting of friends, tell-all books, the belief that the Windsors could carry on performing military duties, royal duties, even though they had left the royal family in far worse circumstances than the Sussexes have left the royal family. So I thought it would be interesting just to have a look and see what parallels there are, similarities between Meghan Markle and Wallis Simpson. And I'm using the regular wider weight. I have shuffled the cards already, and I am asking just for 4 specific questions. The personalities of the two duchesses, a card to indicate to me what their personalities are like, their relationships with their husbands, their impact on the royal family, and the outcome for them personally of their relationships with the royals, their involvement with the British royal family. So this top line is going to be Wallis, the 4 questions for Wallis, and the line below is going to be the same questions for Meghan Markle, and we're going to see what these cards have to tell us. And then I'm going to throw a card on top just to see if there is anything that connects them at a higher level, shall we say at a soul level. I know that they are not, let's say, reincarnations of each other. They cannot be, because Wallis Simpson passed away in 1986 and Meghan Markle was allegedly born in 1981. I checked before I started the reading. I just wanted to make sure it's what I suspected, but I wanted to be absolutely certain about that. And of course, let me just say, tarot reading, entertainment purposes only, just my opinion. So who knows when Meghan Markle was actually born. Anyway, let's have a look and see what the cards want to tell us about Wallis. A card for her personality, the star. Wow, that's interesting. She wanted to be the star of the show. Absolutely. She was the star of the show, Wallis. Loomed large in the firmament at the time she was alive, and at the time that she was in the public eye. She was very much a star. And she certainly lived her life in a very glamorous and very high-profile way. So, Major Arcana, the star, not a negative card at all, very powerful energy, in fact, about Wallis. And I think that she was a very powerful personality. Well, she must have been to do what she did and have her life to have the consequences that it did for such a powerful family. So the star is the card that I think Meghan Markle would like to be, but clearly isn't, because that card's already been used by Wallis. So what do the cards have to tell me about Meghan Markle? More of a schemer. 2 of Wands, and that really is a very minor arcana. Wallis got the heavy-hitting major arcana, the glamour, the glory. You know, she lived in the heyday, I think, of glamour. Wallis, she always looked so glamorous, no matter what was going on in her life. She was very put together very well. Whereas Meghan Markle, 2 of Wands, is scheming. She's plotting and planning and looking out. She's got the world in her hands there. As she's looking out across the sea, she's hopeful that she is going to conquer the world and loom large on the global stage, but as yet hasn't really succeeded, has she? Very minor arcana. It's really, the 2 of Wands is a very unimpressive card. It's a nothing burger, as they say. This is a card, the star. So Wallis wins that round. I'm not really looking at who's winning, but it is quite funny to see how effortlessly glamorous and high profile she was, how this one is struggling to achieve any form of recognition and and importance on the world stage. So, impact on husband. What was Wallis's impact on husband? Well, she beggared him. 6 of Pentacles in the reverse. She turned him into a beggar. He lost his status, he lost his power, he lost his privilege. There he was as the person handing out alms to the beggars, but he in fact became the beggar. And apparently she did treat him like worse than a very lowly servant, really kicked him around in private from what I have read from the documentaries I've seen. They're not a couple that I have studied at any great length, but the stories they paint a picture of a very happy marriage and an equal marriage. It's a very unequal marriage here that as one did all the giving and one did all the taking. And he is the one who gave up his titles, his prestige, his status. He was the king, and he gave all of that up for her. And I don't think in the end that she was particularly grateful for it. So she beggared a king. And that card literally tells you she was the star and she beggared a king. What has Meghan done to Harry? What is going on with Harry? This is the unhappy couple card. 2 of Cups in reverse. Not the dream union that Hazza might have thought it was going to be. It's a very unhappy relationship. This is, of course, the 2 of Cups in reverse is the breakup card. So we're all waiting. I get told off every now and then in the comments by somebody, how dare I look at divorce timelines. I've done a divorce timeline. Do go and look. How dare I wish such a thing on a couple as destined for a success together as Harry and Meghan are. But yeah, there they are. They're a fraud, in my opinion. Tarot reading, entertainment purposes only. They are a very unhappy couple. They are not a divine union. They are everything but a divine union. So both of these cards, very unhappy. So these wives, these duchesses, have had significantly negative effects on their royal husbands, which is quite interesting. And so what effect have they had on the royal family? What effect did Wallis have on the royal family? 10 of Wands in reverse. She was an awful burden. She put burdens on the royal family that they found very difficult to deal with. And of course the burden, the greatest burden, was that the burden of being king was passed from the one brother to the other brother, from the wildly popular he was in his day brother to the brother who had the stammer and was shy and rather withdrawn and didn't seek the limelight at all, and found that he was thrust into the limelight and thrust into this duty that was not his by birthright, but was his because his brother had just decided to give up and walk away. And so 10 of Wands in reverse. Reversals, of course, can be interpreted in various ways, as I often say, and in this case, it is a burden that was a burden without ending. It was a burden that just went on and on and on, much as that poor lonely figure, who of course is King George here, really, much as he would have liked to put this burden down, he couldn't, out of honour, out of duty, he could not put this burden down, and so he carried it with him to his early grave. And the royal family felt very burdened by what Wallis did and the impact that she had on them. So Meghan Markle's impact on the royal family, what has she done to them? 3 of Wands in reverse. It's a lesser damage in this card. It is the PR I'm getting here, because it's the sending out these ships, and the ships in this case I would say are PR and expectations also. It's the card of expectation, of waiting for things to unfold, of sending your ships out and hoping that they come back full of treasure. So there, at some level, the royal family thought maybe this would be a good thing and it would bring back rewards to them. It would bring back good press for them, and it would grow and enhance their reputation, and it's had the opposite effect. The royal family has not benefited from their relationship with Meghan Markle at all. Threes are always about collaborations. In this case, because it's wands, it's really media collaborations, but it's also things like heads together and any other of her patronages and things like that. It did not have the desired effect. Instead of helping them to grow, to get money and resources, it had the opposite effect. They didn't grow, didn't benefit from her. So there has been no benefit to the royal family. And in fact, she probably has cost them something in terms of PR and bad press and just general people possibly turning away from the royal family. But this is a very minor. This card, very interestingly, follows on from the 2. So the planner, the plotter, the schemer, in my opinion, came in, and that is her personality, but her planning and plotting and scheming has not worked out. So 2 ways of reading that card, really. From her point of view, her plans and schemes have not manifested as she thought they were going to. But this, I really was asking for the impact on the royal family. And so, no, it didn't have the desired effect of growing them, expanding them, reaching out perhaps to people of other ethnicities and backgrounds and more global reach, because the 3 of Wands also is a sort of global card. It hasn't had that effect, but this is not serious damage. That, the 10 of Wands, is serious damage because it's a 10. Of course, it's the end of something as well. So it caused literally the end of King George's life because that extra burden put on him affected his health so terribly. And of course, during the Second World War as well, it's all very difficult. This 3 of Wands is minor. The royal family will recover from very quickly. All going well. And it does seem to be that Meghan's star is going down and their star is going up. So, yeah. The only major arcana that has come out so far in this reading is, of course, the star card, which was Wallis Simpson. She was the star. Meghan only dreams of being a star. So what was the outcome for Wallis of this business with the royal family? A Page of Cups in reverse. And this is a sad card. It's a breakup card. It's just generally losing hope. It's minor. It's not a massive thing, but it is communication, and it's negative communication. It's negative. It's upsetting. So her life she was rejected. The Page of Cups. However much she might have wanted to be accepted by the royal family, and maybe she did try to reach out to them, and build bridges. Her attempts to reach out were rebuffed, and this is the sadness for her, that she wasn't accepted. Her life was lived in exile and in sorrow. It's not big, it's not massive heartache and rejection and stuff like that. It's minor. It's a minor card. She obviously had a lot of money. She had a lot of glamour. She mixed in quite illustrious circles. Wallis, she got her fun where she wanted to get her fun. By all accounts, no prude. Lived life exactly as she wanted to live her life. Behind closed doors. In public, she was, I think, impeccably behaved. But it wasn't a happy life. With a Page of Cups in reverse, wasn't a happy life. It had its moments of sadness, and I suppose that any time she opened a newspaper and saw an article about herself, it was rather upsetting. And the Page of Cups can be upsetting news, hurtful news. She got hurtful press, and I mean, here we go again with this latest book. I don't know how many books have been written on Wallis, on the Duke and Duchess of Windsor by now, but many, and they're always going to be negative about her at some level. So Meghan, what is the outcome going to be for Meghan? She's going to regret the way she has handled this with the 4 of Cups in the reverse. This is the missed opportunity. Regret about the way you handled something, wishing you could get a do-over. She is going to feel at some stage in her life that she had it all. And why, oh why, did she walk away from it? Did she reject it? Did she behave the way she did? She might have actually have a moment of insight and self-reflection and think, well, if only I had that chance again, I would do it all so differently. And that's interesting. So not a happy outcome for either of these women. Wallis, I feel more sympathy for her with that Page of Cups in reverse, because it does look as if she might have actually tried to heal the rift between herself and her husband and the royal family without any success. Of course, we know that the Queen and the Queen Mother were absolutely not going to forgive her ever. Meghan Markle is going to sit by herself in future and think, I had it all. Why did I turn it down? Why did I behave the way I did? I don't think she's going to blame herself. I don't think she's capable of that. But she is going to sit there and think, if only things had worked out differently. I'm sure she'll blame Harry, the press, the British public, the racist British public, whoever she's going to blame. But she is going to be sitting, looking back, lonely, sad, discontented, dissatisfied, and thinking, why, oh why did it not go the way I thought in my plans and schemes it was going to go? So confirming what we're all suspecting, but interesting to see the journey that Wallis went on and the journey that Meghan is going on. Not major damage to the royal family, which is reassuring, and certainly some regret at the end for her. And now, is there anything that ties them together? And I'm getting the Ace of Swords here, and very loudly and clearing I'm getting the crown always wins. The sword of truth, justice, fairness, honour is raised aloft with the crown, and there's a laurel wreath around the crown. So if any of you are despairing at this point and thinking that the British royal family is not doing enough, fighting back, is going to be defeated, their reputation is going to be ruined by this, I want to say a very rude thing, I'm not going to, this woman in Montecito, don't despair, it'll all work out in the end. What was that movie? Hotel, I can't remember. Lovely little film. If it hasn't worked out, if it hasn't ended right, it hasn't ended yet, or something like that. Someone will correct me. Can't think of the hotel, something Marigold, whatever. Senile brain here. Been a long day, but the crown is going to win. And triumphed over Wallis. It's going to triumph over Meghan Markle. That's the reading for today. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you on the next one.